If it's only Gilbert and Fernando, that must mean one thing. We are back for Lunes Live. What does that mean? The NFL season is completely kicked off. No more preseason. No more 53-man rosters. None of that. We are back for Lunes Live. Your favorite Compas got you covered with everything we saw from week one. The Chargers, huge win down in Brazil. Is Gilberto trying to jump on the Dan and Dago? I'm not going to call it a wagon. I'm going to call it a freak train.
Doing
The
the Godfather.
Exactly.
I'll just leave it at that.
The Rams show defensive edge. Puka Nacua shows a lot of toughness in the game after getting busted open. And so we'll talk about all that. Plus, all of our some of our takeaways from week one. Obviously, we got to save some for the four Compas tomorrow. But all right, Gilberto, how are you doing? Do you have an engagement question for our viewers and or listeners?
I do off the spot, but also, Fernando, when you said we're back, I wanted to take the microphone and be like, "We're so back!" Like was that more Macho Man or Hulk Hogan? I don't know.
That's more Macho Man, but I can't stand the "we are so back" thing. Like that it's overplayed.
That's the worst.
And I
was thinking more of the Hangover when they find
yeah.
Doug.
Yeah.
That's what I felt like. And yeah, it's real football, big boy football, but. I gotta say, Fernando, you mentioned that the four Compas are gonna get together tomorrow. Check that out tomorrow because it was a rough day for your boy, and I'm gonna get a lot of ridicule, and I'm ready for that. But I gotta say that, when I'm watching these games, I get reminded, like, man, I love this damn sport, and I hate this damn sport. Like, I get so invested in my stupid picks. Like, as a reporter, like, you can be a fan, but I'm a fan of my damn picks, and I'm a fan of being right because freaking Dan and Vic and yourself want to give me crap, and I was pissed off. I was in Vegas seeing the stupid fumbles from Sam Darnold, the stupid fumbles from the Texans. Like, all my picks were destroyed in a 2-minute span, and I almost lost it. But we're so back. There you go, Fernando. I said it again. We're so back.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of stuff going on around the NFL. Obviously, Friday I had to watch the Chargers game from Dan's. Dan had a game. He looks over at me, and they weren't doing too well, his team. But he looks over at me, and he goes like, and I go, and he just like gets all fired up. And my mom's like, "There's 5-year-old Daniel, like getting excited or whatever." So then he's like, "I need to have my dinner, a Coke Zero, and watch these highlights." And he watches them, and he's just like, "Oh my God." He's like, "There are adults in the room now." And I just started laughing. So it's funny, on our preview show, I went Chiefs. Eric and Dan both went Chargers. So I was very surprised. Eric even texted me, "Chiefs defense looks very old." And I just started laughing. I'm like, yeah. So, I'm sure tomorrow you're going to get into it even more, but I want to get your initial thoughts because, and it's funny, I asked Keenan, I'm like, "Keenan, you've been with Mike McCoy, Brandon Staley, Anthony Lynn, what's his name? Eberflus. And now you're with Jim Harbaugh. What's that like?" He's like, "It's different." He's like, I don't know how to. He's like, "I'm not gonna say it, but let me just tell you, it's completely different." It seemed different on Sunday or on Friday. The Chargers opt to go 6 receivers and only 2 tight ends. Keenan Allen, Ladd McConkey, and Quentin Johnston combined for 221 receiving yards, 3 touchdowns. Gilbert, in general, what were your thoughts of the game?
Yeah, you know what? I could just jump into my takeaway. Victor, you could throw in my week one takeaway, and it's involving the Justin Herbert debate or narrative, and the whole debating about Justin Herbert and where he ranks as a quarterback. It can be so dumb. And I'll say this: Herbert, struggling in the playoffs and criticizing that is fair. Saying Herbert is terrible in the clutch, Herbert hasn't done crap in clutch moments. Herbert is, not good when the lights are brightest. That's asinine. That's laughable. it's you're searching for clicks there. It takes away everything Herbert did his rookie year, 2020, record-setting rookie year with a so-so roster. It takes away 2021, where he had 5,000 passing yards and carried the team in Week 18, fourth down after fourth down after fourth down. It takes away what he did in 2022 when he had another 4,700 yards passing. I get it. The clutch moments haven't been there the last couple years. The first 3 years to me is like he was carrying the roster so much. You can't forget about that. Those are clutch moments. Those are what franchise quarterbacks do. You lean on that. That's why Herbert was anointed pretty early, as people forget. In the last 2 years, Brandon Staley was asking too much. I get that. That was a problem. And then last year, Jim Harbaugh was, I think, maybe coddling Herbert a little too much. There was a lot of, let's run the football. Let's protect you. And it took away from the greatness of Justin Herbert. But even last year he was doing that. Bengals game quickly comes to mind to me. So to me, it's like
the Broncos game.
The Broncos game. Why are we talking about Herbert's like a scrub, like a bone, like a
yeah,
a terrible transition.
You saw the comment,
like or Drake May, a guy who hasn't proven himself. This guy has proven himself many times. And to continue my point about how dumb this debate has gotten, Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen struggle in the playoffs all the time. Why doesn't Herbert kind of get the same treatment where like he's still a very good quarterback? He's a legitimate franchise quarterback. But yeah, he has struggled in the playoffs. I get he has 0 playoff victories, but Herbert, Jackson, and Allen are not pretty far off when it comes to the conversation. Joe Burrow is different because he went to the Super Bowl, and you get a big time pass for doing that, but it's not that far off. And who's that one quarterback, Fernando, who could you could make a case as to say there's a big four right now, right? There's no debate. It's Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Mahomes, and Lamar Jackson. But who's that guy who's right there who could maybe make that class with the skill set, with the past performances, everything he's been given in his career? It's Justin Herbert. And for him, here's the point. For him to do that in Brazil on Friday night on YouTube on the biggest stage and beat the defending AFC champions, beat a rival, and finally remind people like, can we stop with the Herbert debate? He's a good quarterback. I get it. He has struggled in the playoffs, and I'm always gonna, give Dan crap about that. Like, hey, he hasn't produced in the playoffs, but enough with the crap that he's not a good quarterback. Enough with the crap that he's not clutch. He showed out, and maybe people now like Ryan Clark can stop going for the hot take and the clickbait. I don't know what it is, Fernando. For some reason, when people rank Herbert or debate about him, it just generates a lot of content.
It's because they know that Charger fans are going to come after them. And that's how you know that there are, because the narrative like, oh, there are no Charger fans. Well, they're the ones that come after people. I mean, you saw when Acho kept on going at Herbert, fans would like jump down his throat or whatever and get after him. So I completely echo everything you've said. Yeah, he needs to start winning playoff games. I completely get it. But again, this year's kind of the year where he's going to have to do it because like the Peyton Manning train kind of leaves that. Like the excuses, well, Peyton Manning didn't win it until his 6th year. He's in his 6th year. I thought the reason why last year Harbaugh coddled him in a sense and had the training wheels on him is because he was taking a beating consistently, and then 2, they didn't have the weapons that they have now.
True.
Now you see all 3 of these guys, and even Quentin.
He had a couple injuries too in the early part of the season.
Exactly. Yeah, Quentin was, and fans won't realize this or won't say it, but Quentin was the thing that was keeping the Chargers in games last year. He was the receiver that was making plays, scoring touchdowns, doing all that, and then Ladd came on.
Fernando, you were still high on Quentin Johnston. I wrote him off, so take the lap. Go ahead.
No, well, I just see the talent. I know that he works hard at it, and there are moments where he flashes. Did he drop a touchdown pass? Potentially, yes, but then it went to Keenan Allen, so all is right in the world. But I know Quentin works hard. It's not like he's just sitting there in his locker, chilling on his phone, collecting a paycheck. Like the dude is working hard at it. But that's why I said like. Everybody thought that you get Ladd, you get Keenan, you get Trey, and you get KLS, you're going to get rid of Quentin. That's not going to happen. Quentin's going to be a big part of this team. And I think people need to start realizing that Quentin is a focal point of the receiving group, and they're very excited. Again, last year, it took Ladd 8 weeks to really get in there and be consistent. That's what they're doing with Trey Harris and KLS. They're going to let them slowly build up into what they're doing, and now they have 3 receivers that obviously can help out. Keenan obviously had a big drop at the beginning, but then he kind of slowly got into it. You could tell him and Herbert just had the magic there that they still have. Ladd and Herbert, everybody got fed. There was nobody that should have been complaining. Omarion Hampton obviously struggled a little bit but he still showed hard runs. Again, that's one of the best defensive run stopping teams in the NFL. They held what was it, Saquon, to like 35 rushing yards in the Super Bowl. So the Chargers essentially on offense took the blueprint from the Eagles Super Bowl and did the exact same thing. They were running the football, but it was the quarterback that needed to decide the game, and Justin Herbert decided the game. Now, I do think that there's a lot of things that they need to fix, obviously, but it's a very good victory to start. And it's funny because before the game, everybody's like, no, Kansas City's going to go down there, make a statement, and they're going to be like, yeah, look, we're not messing around. We're back, this, that. But then the Chargers won, and now everybody's like, well, it was in Brazil. Well, I mean, Xavier Worthy got knocked out in the first part of the game. It was friendly fire. It's not like he got knocked out by one of the Charger players. By the way, if you go back and look, that was supposed to be a pick play. Kelsey was supposed to run into Cam Hart and leave Xavier Worthy open. So, again, the Chiefs are going to get tired. It's been, you add another season on top of what they've already, how Keenan Allen takes seasons away and he's like, well, I had the torn ACL and then I had the season where I missed 8 games. So he takes a season and a half away. That's exactly what the Chiefs do. You add a season on top of that because of how tired they're going to be. And last point, and then we can move on if you want.
Yeah.
Joe Alt's not going back to right tackle.
I was gonna make that point too. Yeah.
Holy shit. Yeah. Like he is not going. And again, I wrote that story and I talked to Joe Rudolph, the offensive line coach from Notre Dame, and all this, and off the record, because he's like, he's not going back. Like, you're gonna see him at left tackle and be like, yeah, no, like if you look at it, this year might be his best chance for all pro. Tristan Wirfs, I think, is injured. I think Trent Williams getting up there in age.
You can put him that aside, Fernando. He could be better than those guys when healthy.
Yeah, no. And did you there was 3 or 4 plays where he just grabbed Chris Jones and just stonewalled him, and you're like, dude, that's nuts. Like, just stonewalled him. And obviously, this weekend they're gonna have a tougher test, or next Monday they're gonna have a tougher test because Max Crosby is elite at what he does, but I definitely think Joe Alt isn't going back anywhere. They're going to have to find Rashawn, maybe kick him inside the guard or put him to right tackle or whatever. But I just really think that he is that he just showed how big he is. And oh yeah, thank you to Tay. I thought Conklin. We had talked about Conklin in the past. Conklin looked really good for the Chargers. I mean, he had that fumble, and by the way, Ladd, good FBI, smacking the ball out of bounds. You get the 10 yards back, yeah, but you had no trouble with anybody trying to grab it. But man, Joe Alt really surprised me the way he played at left tackle. Gilbert, I just don't see how you can move him back, especially if he has a very good year this year.
Yeah, that was one of those things where I thought that could definitely be a blessing in disguise, where Alt is going to play at left tackle. His natural position, and I always kind of had like reservations about the move. Like I get Slater's a good left tackle, but all you heard in the draft were like Joe Alt's like could be a generational left tackle, and I'm like, okay, like I guess try him at right tackle. You want to have both sides solidified, but why not let them compete for it? And the guy who loses goes to the right tackle or the right side. And for some reason they always just kept Rashawn Slater there. I get it; he was a rookie last year, and you want to see what he does, but. To me, this guy is flat out proven at left tackle, and it's also very valuable and impressive that he can play both sides like that on a pinch too. He was training all summer for right tackle. But anyways, the point is, you were talking about. Go ahead.
Yeah. No. My bad. Go ahead. Sorry.
You were talking about Worthy and the injuries, whatever occurred for the Chiefs. Like flat out, like that was an impressive win. I don't even care what transpired in terms of injury, because Mahomes was also lining it up. That was a toe-to-toe game between good quarterbacks, and. Like I hate watching some of these football games and clutch situation moments. Like, wow, Mike McDaniel, take a hike, man. You should have gone for that freaking fourth and 1, and instead you give the ball back to the 49ers. That's why you lost. I hate loser stuff like that. Chargers, having the ball and killing the clock on the run from Herbert. That's how you win damn games.
After getting sacked a play earlier.
kill the damn clock and control the game with the ball in your best player's hands. That's what happened with Justin Herbert. And this is my last point here.
Yeah, I have one
I'm
more
not too
too.
concerned about this, Fernando, and you laid it out perfectly. Why Harbaugh didn't go and lean more on Herbert last year because everything that played out, and you mentioned it again. I'm a little worried that maybe it's in Harbaugh's DNA to always lean in the running game
Yeah.
and maybe having that week one game, seeing what your guy could do. He's never had a quarterback this good in the NFL. I get he had Andrew Luck in college. That's a
No,
different
but
ballgame.
well, yeah.
So
Yeah.
to me, get a little have that balance where like he's gonna carry a lot of the workload, but not too much where you have a good running game. So to me, everything was a great performance for the Chargers. So they passed with flying colors.
And you could tell that they were really disgusted with what happened last year in the 3 games that I keep on mentioning them: the Ravens game, the Tampa Bay game, and the Houston game. I don't know if you read what Albert Breer wrote, but I guess he spoke on Saturday to Greg Roman, and Greg said that he went up to Eugene for a couple
Yeah, I
of
saw that.
like a week or something like that, and he sat down with Herbert and they went over what he wanted to see from the offense. That's going the extra mile. That's sitting down and asking Herbert, "Hey, what did you like? What didn't you like? What do you think we can do?" I really think something clicked in him. He has something different in him. And no, it's not the stupid Madison beer, or not stupid. Sorry, I apologize. It's not the Madison beer stuff that keeps on floating all over my. By the way, he was walking out of a restaurant, and who's right behind him? His protector, his new left tackle, Joe Alt, walking out there with him. But there's something different in Herbert this year, and you can tell he's probably getting to that point where you remember how Gohan, everybody attacked his family and he snapped and he turned into a Super Saiyan 2. It looks like he's kind of at that level where it's like something's about to snap in him, and I think Greg sees what this offense could truly be. Again, Greg's never had a quarterback like this, and it seems like they want him to run a little bit. That's another thing, Gilbert, we didn't mention. He ran the football. Like, he was taking off running with it, trying to create plays. That's what led to Cincinnati and Denver. Those 2 games specifically, he ran with the football when there was nothing out there. And that's when he became oh shoot, my bad. That's when he turned it on and was able to play well. So I really think that that they got something cooking there with him. And again, very tough test this next week, going and playing Pete Carroll. I know there's no names on that defense except for Max Crosby. I know people think that there's not that really much talent on that offense, but they're gonna grind. They're gonna work hard, and we all know when it comes to Pete Carroll, Sean Payton, Andy Reid, and Jim Harbaugh, those teams are gonna play up. No matter if they're only a 7, no matter if they're a 7, they're gonna perform like a 10. If you know what I mean. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, all right. Yes, Jorge, the Raiders are gonna be tough with that's the thing. Get off that high. Because the Raiders are going to be tough. All right. Let us go now to the LA Rams, Gilbert. They basically beat the Houston Texans, and not the way you would have thought. They beat them with their defense. They got after, and all the concern, 14-9 was the score, Gilbert. All the concerns that we had flared up. 3 sacks on CJ Stroud. He got hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. Matthew Stafford, in turn, also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, and then he was sacked 3 times. This was a mirrored team in a sense. Like, a lot of talent in the receiving room, a lot of talent at quarterback. The offensive line is kind of an issue. What did you make of what did you make of this?
Yeah, this is a game where I don't want to get too caught up in one game. I don't want to have a week one overreaction, but it looks like the Rams defense is better than what I expected during the offseason. Like, yeah, they're very good on the front, but they have question marks and a linebacker in the secondary. I don't think that the Texans are a high powered offense, but they have some good playmakers, and you got CJ Stroud. So for them to shut them down and keep them to, like, I think 275 total yards or 265. Pretty impressive. It seemed like they found the gem and Nate Landman to be your inside linebacker. Ooh. He got the forced fumble. Nate Landman, maybe a gem. And then you have DBs that played well. Like I'm not saying they're going to do that every week, but Cam Kitchens, Witherspoon, Kobe Durant, Cam Curl, they shut down Nico Collins. That's a legit number one wide receiver. He was nowhere to be found. Jaden Higgins had like maybe 2 catches for 40 something yards. So overall, maybe this Ram defense is better than I expected. But what really impressed me, Fernando, was the physicality, the tone that they played with. And I was telling Victor on House of Horns, it reminded me a little bit, and maybe it's a little bit of an insult, but a little bit of those 49ers Seahawks rivalries in the NFC West where it was just physical, big hits, and both sides did that, like Houston and the Rams. So, but I'll say this: I think it's time to accept the Rams for being more of a defensive team than an offensive team. And I think we focus too much on Stafford, Puka, and now Devontae, and you got Kyron. But this might be more of a defensive team where they bail them out when the offense gets stagnant, and that happens a lot with Stafford being in the back end of his prime. But they're always going to have enough offense because you could lean on Puka and now Devontae. But I'm starting to look at this team differently, and I think it's more about defense.
Yeah, Puka 10 catches, 130. That's pretty good. Devontae had some back shoulder stuff that obviously he likes playing with. Vic is reminding us that Darius Williams did not play, so that's even more impressive.
Guy stepped up, yeah,
for the Rams. No, the Texans defense is very good. The only thing is that offense just looks like you can get all the receivers in the world, but if your offensive line can't block,
guys were hurt too.
Yeah, exactly. And I think a couple players got hurt from Houston. So again, we had talked about the addition of Puna Ford. He showed glimpses. The front four of the Rams are going to dictate a lot. Now it's going to be, like we've said, the back end. Are the back end guys going to be able to step up? And they did step up. I mean, you have a lot of talent on that team with Higgins. Like you said, Nico Collins, 3 catches, 25 yards. They have a bunch of guys on there, but nobody really made it. He only threw pass for 188 yards. So
in Houston too.
Yeah, and Joe Mixon is still 3 weeks out. I mean, you literally have they have a really tough schedule. Next week they face the Buccaneers on Monday Night Football in the early slate of the Monday Night Football.
Wow. Okay.
They go to Jacksonville. Tennessee comes there. They go to the Ravens, they go to the Seahawks, and then the 49ers come to them. So that's a pretty tough opening schedule. And again, Brett is right. The Texans defense is so good, but can you put up points? Because not every defense is going to be able to, blanket. Yeah. They're not going to be able to blanket all those
9
teams.
points ain't going to get it done.
Exactly. I completely agree. All right, Gilbert, let's move on now to both LA teams 1-0. Let's move on to the Sunday night matchup, Gilbert. My God, I was at Alex Morgan's jersey retirement ceremony, and at one point I was kind of like, oh, okay, like the Ravens are up. They basically won the game. And then all of a sudden, like, I clicked back onto Zakok on accident because I was trying to get to another page because I was writing my Alex Morgan story, and I see, oh wait, like Josh Allen, like I think I saw the Derrick Henry fumble. I was like, okay, I need to finish this story. Boom, let me throw it in there and let's watch the game. So I threw my story in there, ready to go, and then I watched the last 8 minutes of that game. Those last eight minutes, man, the energy was redonkulous. I think they had a 99.1% chance, the Ravens, to win the game, and then Buffalo came from behind and they were able to score on obviously the play from Josh Allen. Josh Allen finished 33 of 46, 394, 2 touchdowns. Keon Coleman 8 catches, 112, 1 touchdown. The run game really wasn't working all that much. I mean, Josh Allen did have 14 carries for 30 yards, 2 touchdowns. On the other side, Lamar was 14 to 19, 209, 2 touchdowns. Derrick Henry, 18 carries, 169, 2 touchdowns. Lamar, 6 carries, 70 yards, 1 touchdown. Gilbert, let me ask you, did the Baltimore Ravens lose this game, or did the Josh Allen-led Bills power themselves to this game?
That's a little tough. Maybe it's a little bit of both. And the Bills caught a break with that Derrick Henry fumble. But the Bills, man, like that offense is good. Like that, I get they struggle in the playoffs, but like that offense has been proven. Like 15 points in 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. That's nothing for the Bills offense. And all these Bills fans left. Like I'm glad Josh Allen called them out. Like you have no faith. Like that's a good offense. That's nothing for them. But I'll focus more on the Ravens here because they did blow it. And Fernando, I think the best, I guess, the highest gear that I feel like in the NFL that a team possesses is the Ravens offense. When they're rolling, they're a damn juggernaut. And how do you stop them? But the way I'm thinking about it, like we've seen all these sci-fi movies, Fernando, where like this smart genius guy or from Silicon Valley or wherever, or back in the day, like builds this freaking robot that just could do everything and it's amazing. And like, but out of nowhere, it's like it screws up because there people are saying like the army guys are telling the scientists, can we move it forward with this damn machine here to get it out going? And then you don't check everything, it's faulty. And then when it comes to the brightest moments, it turns around the robot and it kills everybody. That's a very dark way to go. But for some reason, this high-powered machine just screws up and the biggest moments. Like they couldn't catch the 2-point conversion with Mark Andrews. Lamar Jackson tends to fade in the playoffs. And then you cough up that 15-point lead. So it's like when they are on, nobody can compete with that team, but they always find a way to screw it up. And like the Ravens are just a weird headache where like, man, like, are they ever going to get it done? And like, I don't know why they can't figure it out, but that's a damn good offense. They just always screw it up.
Yeah. No. I completely understand what you're saying. And that's the thing is that what's the stat now? John Harbaugh's he has 10 double-digit leads that have been blown.
Wow,
I think it is.
Yeah,
and I think that's the most since like 2002, something like that. It's like the most in a long time. It's on coaching, it's on the players, but I mean, also I think Ed Oliver's the one that is the one that caused him to fumble. Ed Oliver's he's different, and I think we forget about him. Because of Josh Allen and all that happens with them. He had a sack. I mean, to be honest, like Joey couldn't set the edge worth of crap for them, and they really balled out at the end to try and save that. But there was multiple times where Joey wasn't setting the edge. But yeah, I completely agree with you. It's like the Ravens get in their own head sometimes, and they mess up at the end, and that's kind of what's always been their MO. That's why I know our boy Tyler Dragon hates that I don't ever pick them for anything, but I just don't see it happening. And
screw it up.
Let's be honest, like their defense it has names, but it's not as good as what people envision it to be. You don't give up 40 points and over 500 yards of offense if you're a great defense. And they're, like I said, Kyle Hamilton is very good, but Jair Alexander in towards these last few years, he's given up big plays. Guys give up play. Marlon Humphrey gives up plays. So it's not as tight knit and shut as what everybody thinks it is.
But I'll give them a little bit of slack here, Fernando, because when Josh Allen is in this, and you brought up Albert Breer's story when he's in Bruce Lee mode, because I think Josh Allen told Albert Breer that like he likes to find this Bruce Lee method where like he's not thinking about technique. It just comes naturally. Like when that guy is playing naturally and not thinking, like there's no stopping the guy. I don't care what defense that is. So I give the Ravens a little bit of slack there, but you're right.
Okay, but it's a team that you're gonna have to face in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like what's gonna happen when a lot of bots today. What's gonna happen when that happens in the playoffs? They're gonna go at him or they're gonna do the exact same thing. And I'm telling you, that's going that's why he's in here, the cheese eating bastard. We love it.
Hey, that Packers defense looks better without Jair. I wonder why. Michael Parsons.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so I completely agree with you. And again, this is a team, and again, the Chiefs, the Bills, like you're gonna see these teams in the playoffs, and we've known in the past that Baltimore just doesn't play up to that level, and they screw up. I think they had a lead also in that playoff game against the Bills, and kind of it slipped away as well. So yeah, I just I'm just not buying it. I really think that
Man, when they're on, they're so dominant.
I
But
know.
yeah, I can't trust that team.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. You know what? Let's do this. Let's switch these two topics just to appease our viewing audience. Gilbert, the Packers take it to Jared Goff over on Sunday. They take it to him. They're blitzing him. They're getting him confused. Dan was yelling at the TV consistently because he wasn't happy. No, they sacked him one, two, four times. They hit him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times. And they were all over him. He threw a pick as well. No running game. Jamari Gibbs, 9 carries, 19 yards. David Montgomery, 11 carries, 25 yards. Gilbert, are the Green Bay Packers the best defense in the NFL?
Oh, that's for sure a week one overreaction. It's been one game.
Oh,
Let's pump the brakes right there for that one. But I'll say this, because yesterday when I was depressed with all my picks not hitting and no upsets happening, I'm like, is parity over in the NFL? It's gonna be the same teams again. Like, I'm not calling the Packers some underdog here. They got Micah Parsons, but what the Packers did to the Lions at least shows me that there is the changing of the top of the scene, where there's going to be a new contender in the Super Bowl list here, and I feel like for a couple of years it's been the same: the Chiefs, the Ravens, and the Bills, and the
We're getting
Lions,
new blood.
and the Eagles. So for the Packers to move up, it's a little bit. It's not that. I like to see upsets, so that the little dogs move up. The Packers they're like they were.
Chihuahuas.
What'd you say?
You like Chihuahuas?
Yeah, there you go. And nobody, it was whatever. Anyways, there was no real upset, but the Packers' point is they were kind of caught in this no man's land last year. We're like, yeah, they're above average, but like, who cares? I'm not going to lose any sleep. You lost to the Eagles twice. You lost to the Lions twice. You lost to the Vikings twice. Like, you're good, but you're not, I'm not going to watch you. You're like not that fun. Like, even Jordan Love regressed. And then you get Micah Parsons, who's in limited snaps, man. What he did just in those snaps as a pass rusher, to even drop back in coverage and be an inside linebacker, that versatility, like, what the hell were you doing, Jerry? Jorge, I'll read your comment here. Gil's picks ain't it. Vic's picks is where it's at. The man paid off my car last year. Jorge, you like to have, easy picks. That's why I'm a bold man here. I like to live on the wild side. Shout out to the Browns for covering. Shout out for the Jets for covering. Everybody else, you're dead to me. Mike McDonald, I shouldn't say that. Anyways, you be tougher. Anyways, the point is the Packers are legit playmakers. I don't care. That's a week one reaction. I'll take one. And like I mentioned, when I said I wasn't gonna pick the Packers to make the playoffs, that was more about like it was too late. I don't want to change it. I don't give a crap. But yeah, they're legit. They're gonna be with the big boys this year. Cheesy Ambassador says, Gilberto, great take. Way better than other people who sometimes are on this podcast. Okay, thank you. Finally, somebody said something good here. Cheesy Ambassador, your Packers are legit just because it made that trade in. Jerry Jones, man. What the hell are the Cowboys thinking here?
Who do you think he was talking about?
My good friend Dan and Diego.
Man, Green Bay had a college feel to it, in the sense of like it always does, like a game. But yesterday, because they got Micah Parsons again, the Steelers and the Packers are doing things that they have not done in their history. They went out and they got the big time player.
Yeah,
they made the big time trade, and they went to go get somebody who they believe could make their team even better. And we saw it. And I know Micah has the back stuff, but he came in and he wrecked the game in the limited possessions that he had. Obviously, they wanted to save him, I think, too, because they have a short week and they play Jaden Daniels on Thursday.
They manhandled the Lions too. He wasn't needed that much.
Dude, did you see what he did to Penei Sewell like once or twice?
Yeah,
he knocked him flat on his ass.
Jerry Jones, yeah.
I just, and with the amount of talent that the Packers defense already has, they really have a bunch of guys that I think could really throw out the quarterback. Obviously, they're going to miss Kenny Clark, but I think you're okay giving up Kenny Clark to get a Micah Parsons. But again, I think that defense is very aggressive. They have you could tell that they were playing with a different swagger. You saw Xavier McKinney, like he went up and he got a flag for taunting, and you could just tell that they just feel different, and that's going to be great for them. So I definitely think that Micah coming in gave that town and that city and that team new energy. And if they get feed off of it, they could feed off of it all the way to the Super Bowl. I mean, Dan, to his credit, Dan has them making the Super Bowl. So let's just be honest. He has them making it to the Super Bowl.
Dan's gonna give me so much crap tomorrow, huh? He just came out on the right end for a lot of things, huh?
Oh, dude. And you know what sucks is that there's a lot of stuff that I mean, it's only been 1 week, but I think Dan is the leaderboard on our picks also for the whole season. So
for the wins
Dan,
total?
Teams? Dan is I think 4-0. He's waiting tonight for the
I went 2-3.
4-1. Oh yeah. He had somebody that lost yesterday. I can't remember. Oh, the
Broncos
Lions
came through, but they looked terrible though. I'll say that.
Dude, they did. The Broncos did not look good. Real quick, Aaron Rodgers, your thoughts on Aaron Rodgers turns back the speaking of the Packers, Aaron Rodgers turns back the clocks, and he had an interesting day. 22 of 30, 244, 4 touchdowns. DK Metcalf 4 catches, 83 yards. On the other side, Justin Fields 16 of 22, 218, 1 touchdown, 12 carries, 48 yards, 2 touchdowns. Breece Hall 19 carries, 107. Thoughts on that? That was a hell of a matchup. I was actually very excited to watch that game. I thought they were pretty. So who are you more impressed with, Aaron Rodgers or Justin Fields?
I'll say I did not expect 66 combined points from these two offenses. I thought it's gonna be a field goal fest, and to the credit of Chris Boswell, he nailed that 60-yard field goal, and it came through for them. But it's tough because I think both guys are in the right situation. Like the Jets couldn't really work with Aaron Rodgers, and to Aaron Rodgers' credit, like he still has zip on the ball. He can still move around a little bit to build plays out scripted. A good connection with DK Metcalf. So, I just wanted to. It's hard to pick one because it's like I don't know. Like I don't really think it's gonna move the needle for me in any way.
I mean, but you have the Steelers making the playoffs. I'm just saying.
But yeah, like they're gonna maybe win 9-10 games, but they're gonna win a playoff game.
He was motivated though. Yeah. You could tell Aaron was motivated.
That was good because Aaron Glenn, treated him like crap. I'll say that, and Aaron Glenn was trying to be a hard ass, but. On the Justin Fields side, this kind of feels like a ceiling. And this Jets offense reminded me of 2023 Justin Fields, what the Bears were like. He's going to be mobile. He's going to help your rushing attack. And then if you have one star playmaker, he's going to give the ball to that player to make him look better as a passer. So remember DJ Moore, that first year that he was in Chicago, like Justin Fields looked good. Like he was, lining it up, moving around, and he was just too up and down. And that's the thing with Aaron Glenn's, the Jets now. It's going to be a very top-heavy offense where they're going to lean on Breece Hall, Justin Fields, and Garrett Wilson. That's about it. So, because Justin Fields is not a guy who's going to move the ball around. Aaron Rodgers obviously did that in the heyday, and he still does that to an extent. So maybe to me, that's my answer there. Aaron Rodgers is more impressive because of what he could do in the pocket and spread the ball around. There were some guys I never heard of on the freaking Steelers making plays. So that was a testament to him. And I also think, there you go, former Ram. And I think he has enough trust that Mike Tomlin could go and Arthur Smith could go away from their Stone Age playbook and say, all right, man, go do your thing. That's a big plus for the Steelers because they were such a boring offense. But I think Justin Fields, when he's at this, this level where he has a good playmaker, he's okay. He's not the best, but he's a good mediocre quarterback. So he's in the right spot right there. And I'll say this, Jalen Ramsey put a damn hit on Garrett Wilson. That was a clutch play. And people saying Justin Fields should have ran. Like, yeah, he's an elite athlete, but there was 3 guys around him. He made the right call to throw the pass to Wilson. It was just a good play by Jalen.
I think the Steelers defense is in trouble. They're old.
Oh, yeah.
They gave up 32 points to Justin Fields, and not trying to take anything away from Justin Fields, but he was moving the ball up and down a lot. I think their run defense isn't as good as what it has been. But I thought Aaron Rodgers and the offense played very well. This is the thing that we're going to see with DK. DK had, I think, 2 catches or 3 in the first half. He had only 1 in the second half. I believe that's what it was. So things like that are going to happen with DK where he kind of
one clutch play though. But yeah, it was
yeah, he did. Jalen Ramsey had a great play, like you mentioned. That hit that's vintage Jalen Ramsey. I just think that because they have old Darius Slay, him, Joey Porter Jr. got hurt in the game. I just think you're gonna see if you have a burner, they're gonna be able to burn
Yeah.
those
What
guys.
about the other
So
side too, Fernando? You got a younger defense with South Garner and Quinlan Williams, and they suck too.
yeah. I mean, their pass rush was better. They put on a lick on Aaron Rodgers in one of those. I thought him and Joe Burrow got hit a lot. Aaron Rodgers and Joe Burrow got hurt or hit a lot yesterday, but
those Bengals September, man, they're fun to watch.
But yeah, I definitely agree with you. I'm just not completely sold on I know I have the Steelers making the playoffs, but I just don't know if I'm sold. I don't know if they can continue doing this moving forward. And the defense really worries me. I know a lot of people say week one, kind of throw it to the side. I just can't when it comes to that, just because 32 points is a lot of points put up. So I just genuinely don't think that they're going to be able to keep it up. But Aaron did look vintage Aaron. He was moving well in the pocket. He was slinging the rock. There was one touchdown that I was just like, oh, wow. Like he off his back foot, like threw it and slung it into the end zone. And I was like, okay, like, oh, it was the one to Austin, number 19. I really thought half of the Steelers members are AARP. All good things. But yeah, that was kind of my takeaway. I think that they're better than what I think they're good, but I'm just not completely sold on either team. I think Fields is going to struggle in the next couple of weeks, and I'm still wondering what their identity is going to be on defense, because like you said, like they got lit up for 4 touchdowns. So and they've paid a lot of their guys. So I'm really wondering what's going to happen moving forward from them. Real quick, Gilbert, I know you wrote about it. The Giants scored 6 points against the Commanders, who won 21-6. Is Brian Daboll being smart or dumb in going with Russell Wilson?
Dumb.
And how long do you think until he turns the Jackson Dart?
Next week, but I saw that he's gonna commit to Russell Wilson. What the hell are you doing, Brian Daboll? Like, can we stop trying to make Russell Wilson a thing? Like, it's not 2016 anymore. Like, he's gonna be, even if he has some decent days, it's gonna be a roller coaster. That was a horrendous performance from the entire Giants offense. And I get it's not all Russell Wilson's fault, but he didn't do anything to help you out. And you're on the hot seat. You were lucky that Miami had a worse performance than you, Brian Daboll, but man, you are definitely on the hot seat here. So go play your best card, and that is if Jackson Dart looks like a legitimate, franchise quarterback or has a future to be one, that's your card right there. That's the one you play, because even if you don't make the playoffs, you probably won't, and you tell John Mara, hey, at least we drafted the right quarterback. Can we reset the clock here? Because he looks good, right? So can we keep going and do this? That's the only card he has. But what the hell are we doing here waiting around? Like, the Cowboys don't have Michael Parsons. They got no pressure. Just go and play the kid. Like, Russell wasn't going to do anything for you. But like, I don't get what's going on here with Brian Daboll. It's like did he get like a free job because he helped Josh Allen find the rhythm for a year? Like what the hell are we doing here? Like, enough is enough of Brian Daboll.
The Eagles, breaking news, the Eagles have just traded for Jaguars running back Tank Bigsby.
Oh, Tank Bigsby. Oh, crap.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, they just
that's
traded
interesting.
for him. See, that's the thing about the Eagles, where I'm very impressed with. They didn't like their pass rush from Sunday, or Thursday, and they go get the Darius Smith.
Yeah.
And they just keep on doing it. By the way, it was supposed to be announced today, but nothing has come out. Do you think that they were supposed to rule today on Jalen Carter if he's going to be suspended? I don't think he's going to be suspended. He got suspended for the game. He got that game. He didn't play a snap. So I don't think he's suspended for the Chiefs game. I think he plays for the Chiefs against the Chiefs. What do you think?
I don't think he gets suspended, maybe because the whole Dak Prescott thing. Where a hefty fine for sure. Yeah. But I think because Prescott, there's footage of him like not spitting at him, but like kind of you could see like why he got the reaction.
Looking at him when he spit.
Yeah, and sometimes it's kind of like a habit when you spit when you talk, but like he just kind of did it a little too much that way. But and also like all these rules are all over the place too. Like I think
they don't even know. They don't know what a catch is.
Yeah, like when people get in a fight, but they don't get thrown out, but you spit on somebody, you stay. I don't freaking know. So. That was actually such a weird start, but we'll see if he gets suspended. But Yeah, another reason why the Cowboys had an opportunity to steal one without Jalen Carter and they couldn't do it. But whatever, I could keep crap on the Cowboys. But let's keep it going before we have to head out at 5.
Okay, yeah. So they're gonna get rid of Russ, I think, I think they're gonna play him against the Chiefs. Jackson Dart. I'll call my shot.
What was that? Week 3?
Week
Week
three.
4?
Week 3.
Now there's no Michael
take the
Parsons
Chiefs.
in Dallas. They're playing the
You take the
Cowboys.
Chiefs by surprise. You take the Chiefs by surprise, and they've never seen. By the way, Malik Neighbors going at his head coach was crazy. By the way,
that guy's not gonna be happy. Maybe he keeps going Russell Wilson.
Yeah, it was not good. All right, let us quickly bring in Vic, the producer. Let us, Vic, how are you doing? Let us just go real quick with some crossfire. Yeah,
doing
let's
good.
do some quick crossfire with Vic. Thank you so much, Vic, for
of course
being here.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for having me on here. All right, guys. So just to start off, we'll start off with Gilbert here. Which Super Bowl participant has more concerns, Gilbert? The Chiefs or the Eagles after week 1 overreaction?
Yeah, when you see the Eagles reloading and just making trade after trade like it's a fantasy football league, then they're gonna be fine. They're gonna have a lot of talent, and they see a weakness and try to solve it. With the Chiefs, they're not as aggressive, but like you are really banged up at the skill position. You're still waiting for Rashee Rice to come back. Your guy Kelsey, injured Xavier Worthy, which I'm pissed off about because he's on my fantasy team, and I got a big fat 0 playing Victor in fantasy football. But whatever, Travis Kelsey, congrats on the engagement. But it kind of seems like the same Chiefs stagnant offense of the last few years where they're just kind of, zombie walk into the playoffs and then hope for the best in the playoffs. But can they keep getting away with that method? I don't think so after what we saw from the AFC West around the league in week 1. So I have more concerns for the Chiefs where, in previous years, I think Mahomes could hold it down, but they're really banged up at the skill positions.
Fernando?
I have to go with Kansas City as well. Usually it'd be cool if you my bad, I'm not frozen.
Yeah. No, I mean it makes sense.
No, you know what?
Secondary.
You know what?
Yeah.
I will go with the Eagles. I will go with the Eagles. Why? I don't like their secondary this year. I thought their guys kind of got picked apart a little bit by Dak. Their pass rush isn't what it was. They've lost a lot of defensive line players, and their defense just looked like if I'm gonna be honest, if the Lightning doesn't hit, I don't know if Dallas doesn't come away winning that game.
No pun intended in that game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So I think that's why the Eagles are going out and retooling. Man, I'm telling you, I think 2 teams are going to make big trades before the trade deadline happens, and it is the Philadelphia Eagles and the Buffalo Bills. I think both of them are going to make a big move to bring in a player to help them on their defenses. So I definitely can see both of those teams making big moves because they both need it on their defense. I didn't like what I saw from Philly's defense. I know they came out with the big plays, but no, Jorge, I think that train has sailed. I think Kansas City and Tyreek are too toxic for each other, and with the stuff that came out,
every team should call the Dolphins because then that team needs to be blown up.
But hold on, with all the story that came out today with Tyreek's ex-wife, which he's been saying, I don't know if I would. I don't know if that ship. My bad, Jorge. I don't think anybody wants to. That ship has sailed. I don't think anybody wants to. I'd wonder if they would want to touch Tyreek. So I'll go with the Eagles on this one.
Yeah, I think both teams have some concerns, and I think the bigger concern here is the Chiefs, just in terms of you didn't spend a lot of money on your receivers, and then you look at how they got beat by the Chargers too defensively. And then you have a lot of bickering going on with Chris Jones not doing his job there.
Well, no, and then there was Travis Kelce bickering with Jawan Taylor.
Yeah. So I think that's something to kind of keep an eye on. All right, Fernando, we're starting.
They're not one trade away from everything being okay.
No.
So slowly but surely that ship is sinking. Jorge, a ship can sink.
I think part of the problem too, Fernando, is that the AFC is much tougher than the NFC. I feel like the Eagles can kind of regroup and kind of get away with some stuff there just because they're in a lesser conference. All right, Fernando, we'll start off with you. Are the Indianapolis Colts good, or are the Miami Dolphins that bad?
The Miami Dolphins are that bad. They're terrible. They're horrendous. They're asinine. They're ass of 10. They're just ass. Like, it's really bad. And I'm going to kind of point at the Colts. I think the Colts are last year's New Orleans Saints, where they win the first 2 games by blowing out teams, and
like
they're
that,
gonna and then they're gonna come back to down to earth. And I mean, they have some pieces there in Indy and everything, but Tyreek Hill has not had a reception of more than 30 yards since week 1 of last year. That is not good for a guy that people deem as still one of the best receivers in the NFL, one of the fastest. Not just that. Then you look at Tua Tagovailoa, and there was 2 of his picks where I was like, what are you looking at? The linebacker was crouched, but he was standing right there, and he just isn't what he once what people believed he was. That first year that Mike McDaniel got there, they were high powered. Waddle gets hurt. Tyreek has all this stuff going on off the field. Their offensive line is really bad. Then Darren Waller has a setback, isn't playing. They got rid of Jonnu Smith. It just all around for Miami, it just doesn't look good. That's why I feel bad for Minka. I think Minka is going to get dealt before the trade deadline happens. I think
Bradley Chubb, Jalen Phillips, they all will get traded.
All those guys are going to get traded, and I believe that they're going to sell. They're going to sell, and they're going to fire after the year. The only reason why they won't fire is because Stephen Ross is probably going to be too cheap. But again, let's go back to that year when they scored 70 points. I did not believe that everybody was crowning Miami. They're going to the Super Bowl. They're this team. And then they come back down to earth and fall flat on their faces. So I just think Miami is very, very bad. Achin could get dealt too. Hell, if they really feel like there's nothing going on. But I really feel like the Miami Dolphins are headed for a really bad time moving forward. And they paid Tua Tagovailoa last year, so now they're in a sense stuck with him for the next 4 years. So, I think Miami is just that bad.
Gilbert, do you have anything to add here, or do you want to?
Yeah, I just want to keep clapping on the Dolphins. The Dolphins are like that super senior in high school that peaked. They're like, they were good in that 70-20 game in September of 2023. I lost track. They peaked way too early. They stink. And Mike McDaniel will probably get fired. They quit on him. And also, I know Ryan Clark already has taken a shot at Tua Tagovailoa, but maybe Ryan Clark should talk more about Tua, saying that he's not clutch. That he hasn't, I don't know what the hell he's done in his career. What, beat the Chargers in week 1 3 years ago? That's it. They got to cut that guy. He's not good.
That was a game where they had Khalil Mack in the slot against Tyreek Hill on the first play of the game.
Yeah. You know what Mike McDaniel's coaching career is starting to remind me of is Chip Kelly's career with the Eagles. It's kind of like where, I think the players are out on him.
This is pretty good. Well, you heard Jalen Ramsey and him got into it right before he traded him. So they're completely out on everything that is him, which I feel bad because Frank Smith, friend of the show, is down there having to go through that. So.
I'm surprised he's not a head coach yet, but I think Frank Smith.
Well, I mean, with what just is happening right now.
Get out of here.
All right, guys. We got Bengals or Broncos. Who had the most concerning week 1 performance?
Definitely the Broncos. The Bengals, this is what they do. They have bad defense and they have so-so offense in September. They're gonna find a way to get 8-9 wins, maybe, and that's kind of like who they are, and maybe they do better. But with the Broncos, what happened to all Super Bowl hype? What happened to Bo Nix being the next, star quarterback? What happened to Sean Payton saying that Bo Nix is gonna find that superstar status? And he wasn't good. And I just don't. I'm not saying Bo Nix can't ever become like a star quarterback, but to say words like superstar, he hasn't proven himself. And then the other part too is this Broncos even is good, but are they that special to carry a young quarterback still trying to find his way in the league? It's obvious he still has a lot of room to grow and he has a lot to learn in the league. But a lot of times with these very good defenses that have so-so quarterbacks, they just get stuck in mediocre land. They're one and done. Maybe they win one playoff game like the Texans have a couple years, and That's about it. But to crown this team to go to the Super Bowl and be a real contender, that was so premature. Let's see what Bones could do. And so far, he couldn't do anything against the Tennessee Titans of all teams.
Fernando?
Quick, right?
Oh my God, that was pretty good. By the way, Broncos at Colts next Sunday. I completely agree with Gilbert. I think the Broncos there was 4 or 5 drops from Titans receivers where they could have helped Cam out a lot more than what they did. Cam stood in the pocket. He took the beating. He did everything that he needed to do, but it just didn't materialize. I thought it was a good showing by him. He didn't turn the football over. So I actually thought that was a pretty good showing by him. Again, there's some reservations I still have on the Broncos. Bo Nix didn't look good at all. He didn't look special at all. And they were missing L'Jarius Sneed, who I have yet to see wear a Titans uniform.
Forgot about that.
I know that they say that he is employed and paid by them, but I have not seen him wear a I've not seen him
their
play
money laundering through his contract.
Exactly. But yeah, I agree with Gilbert 1000%. I still need to see a lot more from the Broncos. I see a lot like that RJ Harvey big run, that 57-yarders basically would put the game away. If it wasn't for that, who knows what would have happened. But they kept it close the whole game. There wasn't a point where you said, okay, Denver's going to take control of this game. So yeah, there's Denver's going to Indianapolis next weekend. That's going to be a very tough game. But yeah, Vic, final thoughts?
Yeah, last thing here, Monday night preview. Any concerns there with the field? I don't know if you guys heard. Apparently there was a bunch of concerts there in late August, and now the field is like crap. So just a quick Vikings here. Vikings at the Bears. Who you guys got tonight?
I will go in the words of what's the name from 51st Dates? Go Vikings. The brother. But Jalen Johnson, there's a reason why Jalen Johnson's not playing tonight. I think he saw the field and they're like, you know what? Let's not even risk this dude. Yeah. We need him for later. So I'll go Vikings.
Yeah, I picked the Bears, so that means the Vikings are going to win. Congrats, Minnesota.
All right.
All right. Appreciate everybody. Hey, tomorrow, 5:30 p.m., the 4 Compas jump back. Before you guys all start asking, Dan will be on around 6:20, 6:30, but he is ready for Gilberto. He is ready to talk to Gilberto. He has questions for Gilberto. So when you hear this, we are going to be ready to rock. So again, appreciate you guys so much. Thank you guys so much. Tomorrow, 5:30, be there. The 4 Compas.
I'll be on time, Jorge. That's when I'll be on.
Appreciate you guys so much. You guys are the best. Gilbert, ¿sabes qué? Vámonos.
Yeah, let's get out of here. Enjoy Monday Night Football. That is the return of Lunes live. So much to unpack. That was a fun episode from Fernando, Victor, myself, and Dan tomorrow when we see him. Let's get out of here. Ya nos vamos, pues. Vamos.